do you know if what you're experiencing from a current or former partner is considered abuse? Well, to help you answer this question, I'm going to read you some excerpts from this book called Why Does He Do That? Inside the Minds of Angry and Controlling Men. Since abuse can sneak up on a woman, beginning with subtle control or disrespect that gains intensity over time, some questions emerge. How do I know when my partner is being abusive? Is there a distinct line that I can keep my eye on so that I know when he has crossed it? How much is too much? Since nobody's perfect, how do I know the difference between a bad day when he's just being a jerk and a pattern that adds up to something more serious? The term abuse is about power. It means that a person is taking advantage of a power imbalance to exploit or control someone else. Whenever power imbalances exist, such as between men and women, or adults and children, or between rich and poor, some people will take advantage of those circumstances for their own purpose. So I just want to give you an example of a lady I just met recently. She escaped DV 10 years ago. She is from an Asian country and she married an Australian man. Now, when she first came to Australia, her English wasn't very good. So, number one, there is that language barrier. The second thing is, she is his third wife. Okay? So, he has done this before. So, he has learned a thing or two from his 2 previous marriages. Number 3, she is 20 years younger than he is. Another power imbalance. So she told me that not only did she suffer psychological abuse from this man, he was also physically abusive with her. And there was one time, or there was actually several times where police were called, but the police officers, they had trouble communicating with her because at the time, 10 years ago, before she got her divorce, her English was really bad. So even when they tried to ask her, oh, do you want to charge him? Then she was like, what does that mean? What does charge mean? And they were like trying to use sign language. They didn't have an interpreter. And they said, jail, jail. And she didn't know. She was like, no, I don't want him to go to jail. She didn't know the implications of it, of all the decisions that was in front of her. So she said, no. So she didn't charge him. Anyway, she has several kids with him. And this is an example of how an abuser will exploit a person who is in a more vulnerable position. So, for example, if you are young, if you lack experience, if your immigration status in a country is dependent on your abuser, all these things, it creates a power imbalance.